Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Eric Johansson, a teacher with LSAT Demon. With me is Nathan Fox, co-founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. Today we have an email from Esther.
Esther is following our advice to take a gap year instead of applying late this cycle. Now she asks, do you have any thoughts on taking a master's in the time between now and then? And should I look for a job in the legal or government field? Any advice or words of encouragement would be greatly appreciated. What do you say when people ask? This is, I guess, three different things.
Yeah. Well,
Masters?
masters, I don't see why if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to go to law school. I don't think doing a master's is going to help you there.
Couldn't agree more. Does not affect your GPA. Everybody knows that there's rampant grade inflation in master's programs. So, even getting good grades in a master's program is just not going to, it doesn't affect your undergraduate GPA, which is what US News uses to rank schools. And it's what the American Bar Association requires on their 509 report. So getting a master's to me is a complete zero. It's a waste of time and money, and it's a distraction. If you want to be a lawyer, be a lawyer. Her next question, should I look for a job in the legal or government field?
Maybe. I think getting some legal work experience could be good to see whether you actually like that work before committing to law school. But it's not necessary as a resume pad. I think if you're taking a gap year, then you should find work of some kind. You shouldn't sit around only studying the LSAT. So work experience is good. Doesn't have to be in legal or government field, but if that's interesting to you, then sure.
Getting paid is good.
Yeah.
Getting experience relevant to what you think you're going to do for your career is very good. Figuring out whether you actually want to do what you think you want to do is the best reason to do this. Do not do it for law school admissions. It might marginally make you look more employable if you can demonstrate a record of successful work in the legal field, but it's marginal compared to your, the LSAT scores, the thing that's going to really matter. So don't let it interfere with your LSAT prep, but you shouldn't be prepping for the LSAT full time. Get a job in as close to the field that you think you want to work in as possible. If you think you want to be a public defender, yeah, go work in the public defender's office or work in the prosecutor's office. Doesn't really matter. Just get as close to criminal law as you can if you think you want to work in criminal law. Or if you think you want to work in a firm, then yeah, go eat shit in a law firm for a while and figure out whether you are the type of person who can really stomach that culture. Be open to the possibility, though, that when you do this, you're going to realize that it's not actually what you want to do. That's the best reason to do it. Because you can peek through the door without walking all the way through the door. And if you peek through the door and you see shit that's scary and you don't like it, well, then there's other doors. And so maybe you save yourself 3 years and, however much money on law school tuition, and you end up doing something entirely different, or you end up practicing law, but in a different area. That's why you should go get this practical experience.
Yep, definitely.
Words of encouragement?
Words of advice or encouragement. Well, good on you so far, Esther, for doing this the right way and taking a gap year, not rushing to apply late this cycle. Excellent choice. Keep up that patient, deliberate approach. And I see good things ahead as long as and I forget the rest of Esther's email where she was at with her LSAT, but as long as you've got that as high as you can, and if you're still working on the LSAT, giving it solid hour plus of focus per day, then yeah, you're on the right track.
That's the thing that really matters at this point. I mean, if you want to follow our advice all the way, then you're going to apply broadly in September with your very best LSAT. And you might need to take it 2, 3, 4, even 5 times between now and then. So you need to get your practice test scores up where you want them. You need to register for your first official LSAT. By the way, if this episode comes out in time, Christmas Eve is the deadline this year for February LSAT. And so, Esther, if your practice test scores are where you want them, then register for that February test. If not, then figure out what the registration deadline is for the next test. Try to get your practice test scores where you want them before the registration deadline for that next LSAT, because you do need to start taking it officially at some point if you want to apply in fall of 2025 for 2026 admission. As far as encouragement goes, yeah, thank you for following our advice. You're going to be very happy that you didn't apply late in the cycle and take some terrible offer just so that you could be a K through JD. Like, you don't get any points for being a K through JD. Sometimes you incur a lot of debt and get into a legal career that you're not really quite prepared for. You're getting your legal career off on the wrong foot by forcing this all to happen too quickly. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
glad that you have pumped the brakes a little bit on that.
Absolutely. Thanks, Esther. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.